Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.
Live from the GBM studios in Belize City, it's Open Your Eyes. Start your morning right with your hosts, Sabrina Daly and Isani Caetano.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Sabrina Daly.
And I am Isani Caetano. Good morning.
And good morning, Isani. How you
morning,
doing?
my friend. I'm good. It's Wednesday.
Happy
it's
Wednesday.
The 10th of June.
Yes, it
and
is.
Today is game 4. So I have to wake up with a certain energy, right?
That's why you come so chipper and you ready because you to wait for the day done so you could get home or wherever you're planning to watch the game. I know it's Wednesday, so you might be hanging out. And
I have a home away from home.
Okay.
So it's very likely that I'll be at my other house watching the game tonight with all the other fans of the sport, right?
All right. Well, we'll get to that in just a moment. Good morning again,
morning.
It is a beautiful Wednesday morning. It's a little bit overcast outside here in the old capital. I was telling Isani earlier this morning, I left Borough Boom with some showers. It was raining very, very hard earlier this morning.
And I woke up to the heat. The same heat that I fell asleep to last night.
Yeah.
So we have different weather in the neck of the woods, right?
Because Boom not feel that far away. So when I come to work, and I'm talking about the weather that I'm getting in Borough Boom, and you guys are like, what? I feel gaslit. I feel like I don't know any experience. So guys, wherever you're tuning in from at this time, whether down south, up north, in the west, let us know what the weather is like. Please, I know I'm not the only one experiencing rain for the second time early in the morning. Now back to sports, Isani. Just quickly, let's get it out the way. What team you to root for?
I'll be honest with you, right? And maybe the viewers might like me for this. I've never been a San Antonio Spurs fan.
Okay.
Right? And I'll be honest in saying this as well. I've never really gone with the Knicks, but this time around, I'll go with the Knicks. You root for history? I'll go with the Knicks.
You just
I don't know if I make history with a 2-1 at this point.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know if history will be made this time around, but my heart is with the Knicks on this one.
All right. Well,
Yes,
I'll tell you, I'll be honest. I've never been a basketball fan. I'm literally just riding with the flow. I'm, as Paul said,
I'll say this, right? Much respect to Victor Wembanyama and his team. It's just that, I guess, we'll just listen to a little bit of basketball before we continue, right? So growing up and watching basketball, for me, in that era, the San Antonio Spurs played too basic a game for my liking. I like the flashy, high-flying stuff like where Iverson was back in the days, as opposed to Tim Duncan.
I have no idea.
Right? But yes. So my love for that start from there, right? Or should I say, my indifference towards the San Antonio Spurs started from there.
Yeah.
I know it's no disrespect to them, that's not my cup of tea, right?
That's okay. You can root for who you want to root
yes,
for.
That's the beauty of the game. Right?
And that is the beauty of the show. We can share that as well. And speaking of show, we have a fantastic show lined up for you this morning. So let's go over here and I'll give you guys an idea of what you can expect today. Starting off with Belizean farmers eyeing greater access to the Mexican market. You would know yesterday we had a sit down with the Mexican ambassador to Belize, and so we spoke about cattle and coconuts. Well, this morning we'll also be looking a little bit deeper into that with former Minister of Agriculture, Jose Abelardo May. Then we'll be jumping into a heart-to-heart conversation on open heart surgery. Hopefully we get to look at that. We know that the Minister of Foreign Affairs recently underwent a heart operation as well. So that came from the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital. We'll be speaking to a surgeon from there. And then building careers through apprenticeships, opportunities with Orange Walk ITVET. We had them on the show last week talking about new programs, and so we'll be building on that conversation today as well. And then Women's Haven Products expands its reach to Belize. Now I'll send it over to Isani.
All right, thanks, Sabrina. Guys, here are 5 things you want to know before you leave your homes this morning. Well-known musician and former correspondent Eufemio Cruz passes away. The Belize Water Services, they are disconnecting customers for outstanding balance, in some cases as low as $2, right? And then Nora Parham's story is being featured on the BBC World Service. Then another land scandal, and we led with this last night. Another land scandal is brewing, and this has to do with a woman living outside of the country, but we'll get into more details. And lastly, it is Summer Fest 2026. We're only 2 days away. All right, so big things coming up on Friday. We'll also get into those conversations. Sabrina, take it away.
All right, Isani, thank you very much for that. Now, there's loads of topics to jump into at this time. I just want to quickly begin with some somber news that we had to announce yesterday of the untimely passing of media personality, Brother Fem, as many would have known him. He was an affectionate media personality in Belmopan, and he was also a part of the team over at Plus TV. You would know him for the morning show Rise and Shine as well. And so our condolences are extended to his family, his colleagues, and his friends at this time. Did you cross paths with him professionally, Asani?
Yes, yes. For a very brief moment, I guess in my career and in his, we intersected at some point. It would have been around 2009, 2010. That's when I first met Brother Fem and got to know him, right? And he was, perhaps I think he still lived in Roaring Creek, in that part of the Cayo district. And so for a moment there, he was our eyes and our ears, right? So whenever anything would have happened in that part of the district, he was the person who many who are familiar with him from the Belmopan area would get in contact with.
Yeah.
And beyond, I think, his work as a correspondent, I think if I'm to admire anything about Brother Fem looking back, would be, you know, his faith, his abiding faith, and the fact that he was humble about it.
Yeah.
I say that because you have a lot of people who have certain life-changing experiences, and in those moments they find God, but some of us, we want to try hit that over your head and impress that upon you, and it becomes in some cases a bit overbearing, right? But for him, he was very silent and deliberate in how he spoke about his God and his faith and everything, and his transformation, if I could call it that, right? But yes, so a lot of it you would see on Plus TV. He was a staple on Plus TV for many years with Rise and Shine, right? And if you're like me, and perhaps our viewers could relate, when we wake up in the morning, we scan all the morning shows, right? So here is this man with his guitar, strumming his guitar and getting everybody in the studio to sing along with him, which was a different opening for a show than the traditional one where, hey, morning, morning, and everybody start talk, right?
It almost felt kind of like there was this old-time Belize presence that he brought. And he even kind of struck me as like this old soul. When I was looking at old clippings, as you just saw moments ago, just looking at that, you kind of feel like that connection to what maybe my grandparents would have been watching back in the day, or maybe my parents as well. And so there was something about him that brought just a wholesome energy, I think, and that's what he really did an excellent job on for Rise and Shine.
Yes, yes. And so as we remember him, we remember the work that he has done in the media. We also remember, you know, the strength and you know, his love of faith and religion and all of these things that made him who he is. Now here's the thing, right? I just go a little bit further. Man, it's like the 4th journalist since the beginning of the year. I don't know what we're on, but I wasn't thinking about it from that point of view until I read the headlines yesterday, somewhere in the headlines or somewhere in the introduction for the story itself, where it said that he is the 4th. Now, I can't remember. Oh yeah, Roy Davis. Okay, so here we go, right? So we have Roy Davis. We have my good friend Iglesias, Ruben Morales Iglesias. We have Aaron Humes, and now we have Fem Cruz, right? And so I'll use it as an encouragement, right? So we have to take the situation and try find the optimism in it, right?
Right.
So I'll use it as an encouragement for anybody who wants to be a part of the media. It doesn't have to be here at GBM. It could be in the media anywhere in the country. Radio, print, TV, digital. If that's what your calling is, it's never too late to join us, right? So I'll leave that there.
All right, well, let's move things along, Isani. There has been an interesting conversation coming out of the Senate where some concerns about bills are coming. Now, this one has to do with BWSL, where I believe Senator Sheena Pitts spoke about persons being disconnected for merely owing cents. In some cases, flat rate, you know, need to disconnect your fund, and there's a reconnection fee of $25.
Yeah.
And so there's been talks about that. I know there's a healthy conversation in the comment section of the post that was made on social media as well. And people, they also have their feelings about it too.
It's an interesting one, Sab. And I'll put it in a Creole, right?
Tell it to me.
If you're ho, you're ho.
What?
If you're ho, you're ho. And it simply means that when the bill collectors come around, they're not wondering or worrying if it's $2 or $2,000.
Yeah.
It's an outstanding debt that has to be paid back to the company, and this is how the company runs its operations, right? By being able to collect revenue from customers and then translate that into whatever other expenses or overhead the company has to be able to remain afloat. Now, that like the really political corporate response I give. Which
so
is,
you just say they know the thing, oh, poor Miss Eunice, oh, shilling fan down the street.
I'm looking at both sides of the coin, and I'm presenting the corporate response first.
All right.
That an outstanding bill is an outstanding bill, and it needs to be collected. I'll draw a parallel. That the reason why Carl Houston in the country the because they are more forgiving and not really got hard after collecting outstanding sums. Right? Good. But that's on that side, like I said. On the other side, I'm thinking to myself, well, man, I just flat rate. Maybe I'd even use the kind of money where, I use the kind of water where somebody else use down the road where every day all day that water. Right? And they may be in arrears too, compared to my $2 or my $9 or anything under $10.
Yeah.
And then I come home after work and I try, run my faucet or take a bath, and I realize nothing comes out of the tap.
Yeah.
Then I'd say to myself, wow, I'm disconnected for this small amount of money.
Yeah. And the thing is, if people continue to owe even just cents or $1, that rolls over, and then the price grows. I see a comment here from Michelle saying, I'm sorry, but you owe. If BWS forgive people for $1, then everyone will start owe $1.
And then they'll find themselves in the same conundrum that KHMH finds itself in.
Yeah, and hopefully we can get to that too. I see Esther Weatherburn saying, Sabrina, my brother got disconnected for $16 and he have to pay $25 reconnection fee. He was ticked off.
So the cost of reconnecting in some cases is more than the actual debt that was owed to the company, right? But I love my Creole expression, and the beauty of Creole as a language is so amazing. If you're ho, you have to pay. There's no two ways around that,
Tyler
right?
Smith said, the least they can do is notify you when they open your gate and walk in your yard for chop your line.
I'll say this, right? I don't believe that I owe anything.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe that I owe anything. But man, I have a big dog, right, that I want to meter.
You put on there just for that, Cho. Isani, I don't believe you. I think that's the way you do.
I have a pretty huge mastiff right at the water meter.
Oh my gosh. All right, we have manager saying, I'm
go.
sure this is an automated occurrence on BWS's end. These bills need to be paid, but I do understand the frustration, and that's what I wanted to get to as well.
Fair
I'm
enough.
certain with, a big corporation like BWS, where if you don't have your VATs, they run and whatnot, the only other option is BWS. There has to be an automated system in place. However, they do have to send people to go and do the disconnect disconnection. And so, and I'm sure these people that are doing the disconnection, they don't know that Isani only owe 5 cents or 10 cents. And so that's where the concern comes
They
around.
probably send out a list that says to be disconnected, and then they have a list of names, right? So you, the person who's tasked with going out into the field to carry it out, aren't looking at the dollar amount that's owed. That's not your line of work.
It's not, yeah.
Admin and receivables and so on, deal with that part. You only go and you just chop off the water.
All right, well, moving things along. Now, this one is an interesting one. I saw it being shared on social media yesterday. We all know the story of Nora Parham and what it means to Belizean history, but it was recently being featured and highlighted on the BBC World Service. Now, the BBC is a platform, you would know, Isani, that has millions of subscribers, millions of followers on Facebook separately, and so it was an acknowledgement of Belize's history, really, and I think just a moment for us to reflect on that as well.
So while I'm glad that it's getting recognition outside of the country, I think of a few years ago when she was posthumously pardoned. Right? Now remember, so leave it a history lesson, because I know we have viewers who might not be fully aware of the story of Nora Parham, right? So Nora Parham, as far as we know historically, was the victim of abuse, and in this unfortunate situation, she ended up killing her abuser, if I could use that loosely, right? But through the legal and judicial processes, she was convicted and later handed a death sentence. So she remains on our record, our Belizean history, as the only woman to have been executed in this country. And again, as I mentioned a few years ago, under the People's United Party administration, she was absolved and completely pardoned of that entire incident decades later, right? And I don't know that she probably would have been around had she not been sentenced to death. I don't know if she would have still been around to be here for that pardon. I can't remember how old she would have been. But it was a moment in time where when I saw that and I saw how relieved her family was in terms of this stain being removed from her name, right? I sort of liken it to, and again, our readers, so forgive my analogy here, that scarlet letter A was removed from her. If you guys are familiar with Hester Prynne and the scarlet letter, right? The scarlet letter A was removed from her. In this case, it wouldn't be A for adultery, it would be some other letter. But the point remains, right? She was cleared of this all these many years later. And I think to be able to take that story and show the rest of the world, it's a powerful thing.
I also think of, you know, the new generation or the younger generation and the ways that they will interpret this story and even have her legacy live on. If we want to even call it a legacy, I think of Cameron Tillett and Alyssa Norales, who we spoke to, I believe, about a month or so ago.
Who published a book, right?
They did a play. They did like kind of like Broadway sort of at their university in the United States. They were master's international students who actually recently graduated, and they received a standing ovation, you know, for that performance. You know, obviously for the mere fact that it was well done, but also for the fact that it was real. This is a real story. And I'm also hearing that there's the possibility of that play coming to Belize as well. So that's definitely something, if you want to support, that's a type of activity or event that you should support. But we just quickly wanted to make that acknowledgement. If you see the post, get in the comment section and share your thoughts as well. All right, Isani, let's move into another land scandal brewing. Now, this one, I think, it has people talking. I know that there are several concerns from the Lands Department. We've heard several stories and we've reported on several stories where people have come in contact with somewhere or another leasing a parcel of land or acres of land, then finding out that they don't own it.
It is difficult, very difficult, in my humble opinion, to not see the Ministry of Natural Resources, more specifically the Lands Department, as a unit of government that doesn't carry this stigma and this stain of hotbed of corruption. So no matter how they try, it's something that for many people leaves a bitter taste in one's mouth. I say that because this woman is not the first person, and she may very well not be the last person. And this is not the previous administration, this is this administration, right? I put all of that into context to say that the issue, in my opinion, really hasn't changed. Players have changed, but the issue remains the same.
Yeah.
People feel as if though, in some instances, they're being taken advantage of through the Lands Department, right? I'm not saying that it's so in this particular case. Maybe it was a genuine mistake. I don't know. What I do know is that it's a bit curious that it's the same name that pops up once again, right? That is the part for me that I kind of have to scratch my head and be like, okay, wow. So we got from that area of independence to now democracy, the same name pops up again. Are there political connections?
Yeah, and who was facilitating that process as well?
So it raises more questions than answers, right? And I think what I also found curious is that the quote from the chief executive officer that referenced our Facebook post. Boss, I mean to say that only till we publish this thing, I didn't realize that only got this lady out of a whole 23.5-acre parcel of land. My news team doesn't work at the Ministry of Lands, right? I don't work at the Ministry of Lands. This woman, in my opinion, and as far as I'm aware, would have exhausted all her, attempts and efforts to try to rectify this with them before she came to us.
I'm also thinking of people who might have like lands that they have acquired one way or another, but there are some people who might not visit the Lands Department frequently to check on their title or the process that's going through the lease or not.
If you're a Belizean living abroad, we don't expect that you're going to lands every so often to check on your lease and the status or whatsoever.
And I say that to say, imagine there are people who might not even know that is taking place right under their nose.
And that is why I said earlier, Ms. Geraldine won't be the first or the last, right? And it happened under the previous UDP administration. It continues to happen under this administration. That is the reason I'm saying it's hard for anybody there to escape that stigma about the Lands Department, and by extension, the Ministry of Natural Resources, right? And it's not to say that mistakes don't happen. Yes, they do. But some things seem a bit more deliberate. Yes,
and that's the problem. I think people are observing that there's a pattern that seems to be in place there. And it begs the question if there's corruption taking place there. And people have called the Lands Department the hotbed of corruption. And it doesn't help.
The former Prime Minister went on record to say that. And perhaps that description, harsh as it is for some people who work there and are not part of it, still hangs over the whole ministry.
Stories like this don't help. Well, she did say that if this matter is not resolved, she will be taking the government of Belize to court.
And I'll end with this, right? You imagine 30 years of paying a lease with the hopes that one day you'll actually be able to purchase the land and get a title for it, only for you to reach this far and somebody tell you, oh, sorry, somebody else don't get it already. How would you feel? How would anybody feel?
You may ask me that lands. All right. Now let's move things along. We have one final reminder to you guys that Summerfest 2026 is coming up, and it's an exciting week for us. We are gearing up for Friday, and the kids, they love the show. I know families, parents, teachers, schools in general, they love having our Summerfest annual event as well. And so we just want to remind you guys to stay locked in. It's definitely one to remember. If you guys are in Dangriga and you want to join us, you can also do so. We have a live audience as well, and so schools will be out, families will be out, and we are even trying to have other stakeholders and corporate businesses to come out and support us as well. I believe San Cas will be there, and of course many other businesses that families rely on, especially in preparation for back to school as well. So definitely stay locked in. Summerfest will be showing talent, will be showing young people, and of course it'll be loads of fun as well. Well, Asana, we do have to quickly close things off. Time is running out. We got to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll be joined by our friends from Orange Walk ITVET, and they'll be talking about ways that they are giving young people apprenticeship opportunities.
Introducing BB Insurance, built for Belize. Your security, our priority.
When your baby feels comfortable, you feel confident. Because every little moment deserves protection you can trust. Kushkin's diapers are designed with ultra-absorbent layers that lock in leaks while staying soft, dry, and gentle on delicate skin. So your baby can play freely, and you can enjoy every smile without worry. Kushkin's diapers, comfort they feel, protection you trust. Kushkin's diapers and wipes are available countrywide at a supermarket near you.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
Get ready, Dangriga. Something big is coming your way. Open your eyes. Summerfest 2026 is heading to the culture capital, Dangriga. Join us on June 12th at 6:30 a.m. at the iconic Alejo Beni Park for a morning filled with energy, excitement, and pure talent. This year, it's all about the kids, from singing to dancing, poetry to performances. If they've got talent, we've got the stage. Bring out the entire family and come celebrate creativity, culture, and the future stars of Belize. Expect fun, music, surprises, and unforgettable moments. Don't miss it. Open Your Eyes Summerfest 2026, where young talent shines the brightest.
Running a business means every dollar counts.
As a business owner, you face different challenges every day. You need cash flow on hand as soon as you can.
With Belize Bank's same-day settlement, transactions settled by 4 p.m. are credited the very same night.
The same-day settlement will definitely make a difference for my business because I know I have money in the bank so I can pay my suppliers, my staff, etc.
Faster access to your funds, better cash flow, greater control. And with auto settlement, it's done for you every day. Same-day settlement from Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word.
The Bible says, I am the vine, you are the branches. He that abideth in me and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit, for without me you can do nothing. There's a tree in the White Mountains of California that was around 2,600 years old when Christ was born. It is called the Methuselah tree because of its age. The bristlecone pine stands about 30 feet tall and looks like living driftwood, yet it is alive when other trees placed in more fertile and advantageous places are dead. The bristlecone pine has such longevity that archaeologists use it for a special dating technique. By comparing the rings called annual rings, they can trace the dates of certain buildings and artifacts by the remains of logs found in ancient ruins. The reason this tree could live 4,600 years is not that the soil was good, it is alkaline. It is not that the soil was deep, it is shallow. It is not that the rain is plentiful, it is desert. The reason is that it has lived that long is that it has adjusted to the situation. Its roots have gone out instead of down to obtain every bit of moisture it could obtain to enable it to live. Sometimes life is like that. Maybe the reason your life has become dry is because your roots are connected to the wrong source. Take the hand of Jesus and touch the heart of God. Get connected to Christ, the true vine, and you will find a life extended into eternity.
Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Welcome back. We are jumping into our first conversation, and it's all about building careers through apprenticeships. We are joined by our friends from the Orange Walk ITVET, and they were here with us last week talking about the new school cycle, also new programs available over at the ITVET. And so this second part of this conversation really is adding further opportunities for people wishing to expand in their career and just even learning as well. We have here with us Jamor Lopez. He is the project manager at ITVET. Also, Cindy Garcia, ICT instructor representing ITVET, and Josette Espadas, librarian. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome back. And good morning.
Thank
good
you.
Morning.
Good morning. Just
Thank
a
you.
quick thing.
Yes.
Cindy is actually the project manager.
Okay.
I'm the ICT instructor.
ICT instructor. All right. It's not dyslexia. All righty. Well, thank you guys very much once more. As I started off by saying, you know, it was a pleasure having you guys here last week, setting the stage for what's taking place over in Orange Walk, ITVET. I know, I can imagine there must be a lot of people applying right now trying to further their careers, building on their capacity, and really learning more. Now, you guys are here talking about other opportunities that exist for these very young people, or people in general, who have decided to make Orange Walk ITVET their next stepping stone into building their careers. Apprenticeships. How are you guys doing that?
Well, good morning. Thank you very much for having us this morning here with you guys. And as you clearly mentioned, last week we were here to share with you what the Orange Walk ITVET is doing, the new programs that we're offering. And today now we want to expand a little bit more about a new initiative that we started this year at the Orange Walk ITVET, which is an apprenticeship program titled The Breaking Barriers inclusive and sustainable apprenticeship program in air conditioning and refrigeration and electrical installation level 2.
Okay.
All right. So this project came about through an opportunity that was brought to us last year in September. And we wrote a proposal to the government of Canada for us to get a grant to assist us to run this project. The objective of the project is to equip 20 young Belizean student trainees to prepare them with practical and technical skills which will enhance them with their employability skills, with their career advancement, and also entrepreneur opportunities in these 2 trades. Yeah. All right.
I know that the ITVET is, you know, popular for ensuring that persons that pass through their programs or the cycles, they have an opportunity to find a place of work. We know that there are also special parts of the cycle and program that allows on-the-job training, practicals for development. How does this complement the apprenticeship program?
Okay. So part of the program, in anticipation of approval, because we submitted this proposal back in September, but in anticipation of approval, we start the preparation process, and we had to involve industry, because the objective of the project is that the practical training is be done out in the industry, not at the school.
Okay.
The theory, yes, it is being done in our school, but the practical is out in industry. So we have partnered with 5 good companies here in Belize, 4 in the city and 1 in Orange Walk district. And we are so grateful to them because they accepted our 20 trainees and their apprentices. They're still learning, they're training. And so the structure of the program is that for 2 weeks, they go to industry from Monday to Fridays. They go to industry to do their practical training. They follow their working hours, their rules and regulations. And the week and 1 week after, they come to school to do the theory. That cycle will run then throughout the 8 months, which ends in December. The program itself is for 8 months, but because of the project. However, these students or these apprentices have been doing their training in these 2 trades from last year, September, or more, because they have done their level 1. They have completed their level 1 in these 2 trades, and now they're more than ready. So for the 8 months, it's just that they now be in the industry to do more of the practical training.
And it's only 20 of them?
It's 20 of them.
Okay.
The project catered for the 20 of them.
It seems a little smaller, so you'll forgive me. It seems like 20 people, perhaps people are fighting for those spaces if that were the case, to someday be a part of those cohorts. But it seems like a very small number of people to put out in the field that way.
Okay.
Can you speak to that?
The number 20 seems small, but again, as my colleague said, it's a project, it's a grant. So we were given a number to work with, and that number was 20. 20 young apprentices. It was so fitting because the 2 trades that they're doing their apprenticeship in are 2 trades that we already offer as a program at our Orange Walk ITVET. So we already had the cohort of 20. Yes, it's a small number, but the end goal of this 20 is that we will be receiving CVQ, or the Caribbean Vocational Qualification certificates, for these 20 apprentices in these 2 programs. Yeah. So we're talking about 40 certificates in our country, first time ever. So again, the number 40 might seem like a small number, but when we're talking about the first ever CVQ level 2 certificates in country.
What is the weight of that certification?
Okay, so the Caribbean Vocational Qualifications is a certification that is received in VOTEC training that allows people to work outside. We know borders are opening, free movement of labor. So these trainees at the end of this program will become CVQ certified, so they can compete in the region. They can go to Jamaica, they can go to Grenada, they can go to Trinidad and Tobago, they can go to St. Lucia, and they have the actual certificate saying that they are certified in these 2 trades and they're able to work there. Again, it's the first in our country. No no institution has ever given CVQ certificates. Part of the reason is because Belize does not have a national training agency. We're working towards it. In the near future, Belize will have an NTA. And you might ask, so how are we getting these certificates? So we partnered with a sister Caribbean country, and we're getting it through their NTA. So these guys will be certified through them. So again, the numbers might seem small compared to the population of people being trained, but it's a number that we're working with.
Yeah.
And as Ms. Cindy mentioned, we have 5 industry partners, and they have bragging rights. They will have bragging rights at the end of this apprenticeship program that they can employ 4 persons that are CVQ certified, the first ever in our country.
Yes.
So here's an observation. So you have ITVETs across this country, but I don't know that any has been as out there as you guys are in terms of promoting the courses and the various training, including this apprenticeship opportunity. Is it a competitive area, so to speak, in terms of trying to get as much people to enroll in your programs up north versus perhaps other people who are in various parts of the country?
When it comes to what it is that we're doing, it's about marketing, it's about promoting. There is a TVET institution in every district. They're all busy, they're all working, and there has always been this stigma in terms of getting into a trade.
Yeah.
And we're trying to change the perception. We're finding out that a lot of people are finishing high school and then they go on to sixth form. They pursue, let's say, an associate degree in business. They don't have a skill, and then they're unemployed. You have people associate degree in business, and then there is probably the call center. But if it is that you enroll in a program at any of the TVETs and you have a skill, you're looking at starting up your own business or being employed somewhere. Now, for us, what we've been doing is getting the message out, trying to change perception all around, in having the country understand skills pay bills. And when it is that you have a skill that you can do for self, you can do for country. For any country to advance and move forward, you need skilled individuals. Let's look at the media industry. So if it was that, let's say Orange Walk ITVET, for argument's sake, that we were offering a program in videography, etc., you could probably have somebody coming to you as an apprentice, learning the ins and outs, you know?
Yeah.
I remember Brother Abo, for example, and he probably came and then was learning the ropes, etc. So he came probably green, not knowing anything, and then there was somebody to guide him. Now imagine now that there is a program that we're offering that you can go learn the ins and outs, and then when it's time for you to do your on-the-job training, you come here to then utilize those skills and then build on it, because there are certain things that is happening within industry. We might not be able to cover all of that. That is the regular program. With the apprenticeship program now, what we have done is to partner with this industry where you are actually doing theory at school, and then you come here and you do the practical aspect. It builds on the skill set for those trainees, and it also provides an opportunity for industry to look at a cadre of individuals that, you know what, this person is working good, we might have an opening, or we can utilize this individual. I'll use myself as an example. When I was young, strong, and handsome, way back, I went to Belize Technical College. I did an associate degree in chemistry and biology, thinking that I would study medicine. I used to go to a garage in Dangriga. This was Z-Line bus service. I'm dating myself. And the guy said, I like how you work, you're a fast learner, and if you want a job, come and we'll hire you. I graduated a Sunday, left Belize City, went back to Dangriga. On Monday I said, I am here, will you, you said you would hire me.
Yeah.
And I began working at a garage. And it was because I was there working with them. They saw the skills, they saw the competency, they saw the aptitude, and they embraced me. And this is what we want for our people. You said earlier that we've lost 4 media persons. There is now a void. You want that you have a cadre of individuals, and to build, you don't want that there is a vacuum and then who is going to take, because then it's like you're always trying to see how we can get those individuals. You want that you're always building capacity so that there is not stagnation and retardation, there is always forward movement. And
as an ICT instructor then, how confident are you, Mr. Lopez, that these 20 persons who will be a part of the apprenticeship program will be capable to fit themselves in the workforce and make the ITVET proud?
It's about collaboration and networking. We don't work in isolation. We've prepared them in terms of what needs to be done from the theoretical standpoint and the practical standpoint. And the beauty is that there was the networking and collaboration and buy-in from our industry partners. So we are in this for success. It's about holding hands, supporting. It's about ensuring that this works. It has to work. And it's the blueprint for moving forward, because our training has always been focusing, okay, there was the Belize National Qualification, the BZVNQ, Belize National Qualification, which was local. So we're looking now at regional, and then we can also look at national. So we're rolling this out for AC and electrical, and the plan is to do it in plumbing, in auto,
and many other sectors.
In all others.
All right.
So that we're at that level.
Let's take a quick look at applications. How can people be a part of this program? Is this for students who are already there? Can you apply to just be a part of this program?
It's already ongoing.
Okay.
So we already have the 20 trainees, the 20 apprentices part of the program. But like Mr. Lopez mentioned, this will continue next year.
Okay.
Right now we are just doing these 2 programs, but for next year we want to engage more of our trade programs to be a part of the apprenticeship program. So we have only the 20, but next year probably we will have more. We expect to have more. And it takes a village to lift up a child, no? The same thing, it takes the institution, it takes parents, it takes the trainees, the community to make this project a success, all right? And we are so grateful to the industry partners, and I would like to acknowledge them. In Arinjuak, we have the Belize Sugar Industry, the ASR Group. Here in Belize City, we have the Ramirez AC and Electrical Company. We have Sharp Engineering Limited. We have Guerra's Engineering Limited, and FT Williams and Associates. So we have 4 trainees assigned to them that they're working with them for this 8-month program.
Excellent. Guys, it's a pleasure having you here as always. We are completely out of time at this moment, but we wish you guys all the best, and we thank you for the time taken to come and speak with us.
Thank you.
All righty, we take a quick break now, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, Belizean farmers eye greater access to the Mexican market. We'll be right back.
Need a fresh new kitchen, flip that switch ignition. G appliances shine. Every knob, every line, all align and turn the shower on. Feel gold, colder in the chrome. So bold from the tiles to the tiny screws. We've got the wow you choose. All in one place, Design Depot. Everything you need for the life you want. Let's go! From the floor to the paint to the patio glow. Build it up, light it up, watch your dream home grow. All in one place, all in one place, all in one place, all in one place, all in one place.
Design
Spine Depot, all in one place.
Ever had your card declined? Now it doesn't have to be. Introducing partial authorization. If the card doesn't cover the full amount, it notifies you what's available. You can accept the partial payment and pay the missing balance with a credit card or cash. No decline. Get what you came for. Partial authorization now available. Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
Get ready, Dangriga. Something big is coming your way. Open Your Eyes Summerfest 2026 is heading to the culture capital, Dangriga. Join us on June 12th at 6:30 a.m. at the iconic Alejo Beni Park for a morning filled with energy, excitement, and pure talent. This year, it's all about the kids, from singing to dancing, poetry to performances. If they've got talent, we've got the stage. Bring out the entire family and come celebrate creativity, culture, and the future stars of Belize. Expect fun, music, surprises, and unforgettable moments. Don't miss it. Open Your Eyes Summerfest 2026, where young talent shines the brightest.
Every day, the demand on your business get higher. More productivity, better equipment, and reliable support to keep up with a fast-moving world. At Cellular World Business Solutions, we're ready to help you boost performance across every operation. Don't let outdated technology hold you back. With our certified and supported solutions, your business stays ahead. We supply office equipment, printers, inks, and toners, software licenses, IT system assembly as your Dell Platinum and Cisco partner, appliances, and custom orders tailored to your needs. From startups to large enterprises and renowned institutions, we serve every corner of the country because no industry can afford to fall behind on technology. Let's take your business to the next level. Contact us today at 610-2494. Cellular World Business Solutions, your reliable partner in business success.
And welcome back. Joining us for the next conversation is former Minister of Agriculture and Orinjoak South Area Representative Jose Abelardo Mai. Good morning, my brother.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sandy. Good morning.
It's been quite a while since you were last on the couch with us. I think it was in your capacity as then Minister of Agriculture.
Very, very true. I've been out for a while. I haven't been on national TV for a good while.
Yes.
I've been on social media a lot.
A little too much, some would argue, right?
Yeah. But
let's begin by perhaps, for the benefit of our viewers, providing them with an update as to where you are in terms of your medical and your recovery, in terms of the surgeries you've undertaken and where you are health-wise.
Yeah, I went on surgery on the 10th of March. So 10th of June is 3 months now. It's a little complicated, but I went in for surgery to my spine, and I came out with surgery to my right knee. I explained that all the doctors had agreed that we would do that it's recommended to do a double fusion to the spine.
Yeah.
But the evaluation in Guatemala by the doctors was that my posture was wrong. It was wrong because I was leaning to one side, the hip was one side, and therefore I was putting too much strain on one side of the spine. And they decided that because I have a bad leg, that it would be better to address the knee. My knee was 7 degrees off. It was worn on one side. It was pain. It was always painful, but I thought the spine was more critical to me. I never believed that the knee could affect the posture, your spine, your hip. So he believed that if he would have done the spine first and still the posture would be not well balanced, the weight wouldn't be well balanced, it would affect the outcome of the surgery in about 3 to 4 months. So he said he didn't want to take that risk. He believed that the best option was to do the knee, remove the worn part, and to realign so that it would improve your posture, and of course with therapy that would work. So I had to speak to I was in Guatemala, so call the family and inform them and say, well, this is what will have to happen. And they say, well, that's what the doctor said, and they have to do it.
Here's the thing, Mr. Mai. So sitting here in front of you, we can visibly see that there's been a transformation. You look almost different from the last time that you were here. We can attest to that. But there's all of this going on in your personal life against the fact that many still have their own theories as to why you're no longer in the spotlight the way you once were when you held a ministerial portfolio.
That's very true. There are people that you will never convince. It doesn't matter what you say. And that's fine with me. Right? That's fine with me. I've been through a lot. And I think that there are people out there that know I've had to lose a lot of weight. My posture has improved. I was somewhat humped. That has improved a little. I walk better now. And I've been through a lot of therapy. I'm still going through therapy. A lot of therapy. Therapy with therapists, therapy at home. There's someone or a drug who does good massages with structures. Because even when I returned from Guatemala, 5 days after I returned from Guatemala, I had extreme pain, this time pain to the spine, the left hip, and the left leg, not the one that had surgery. I had crazy pain. I had to go to the clinics every 2 days with painkillers, living on painkillers. Why is this happening now? Then the term they use is you compensate, because you put weight on one leg, you compensate. You psychologically this leg hurts, so you put the weight on this leg. So the weight is on the hip and the leg. And it was, I had cramps every 15 minutes. Cramps, the muscle just cramp, and so I went back to Guatemala, and I got worse in Guatemala. I couldn't even stand. I walked 15 minutes, I have to sit down 15 minutes. Both doctors, I saw both doctors did the surgery. 3 of them did surgery, and they told me that it is more like a compensation, and it should be better with therapy. So they gave me 2 months more therapy. As a matter of fact, this is 1 month now I returned from Guatemala. So I'm on that type of therapy to try to balance the weight so that you can spread the weight in both legs so you don't compensate. That has been going well. It has like, what, today is like 13 days that I have no pain at all, which to me is a relief, because to have pain every day, you have to be drinking medication, which affects your liver. So they were telling me, try get off of the medication. So the therapy has been going very well. I'm not a believer in therapy now. Before this, I didn't believe in therapy.
Made you a believer now?
Yes, that was
Do you have
the only exercise, but it works.
Do you have an expected duration to complete this therapy?
Yeah, I have 1 more month.
1 more month.
Therapy. I had 2 months therapy, and then I need to go back to do another MRI to see how the spine is doing. Well, when I was in Guatemala a month ago, the doctor did some tests with my feet, and I said, I think we still need that surgery on that spine, He said, because there seemed to be weakness in this leg, the toes, right? So I said, well, wait, I will do my therapy first. Nobody wants open surgery on the spine, especially that I've gone through with the knee replacement. It's very painful. The recovery is very painful.
You've had a tough few months, Mr. Mai, and understandably so. We can see, as Isani mentioned, the reason why you would have had to take in time off from your portfolio and your ministerial responsibilities. However, having you on the couch here and having your presence on news media outlets for the past few weeks, there are several questions that people have in your vested interest still in the agriculture sector and why you continue to be a face in this industry.
Yeah. Well, agriculture is in my veins. I grew up in a farming family. I studied agriculture at different levels, and I worked in the Ministry of Agriculture for many years. I am a farmer, so my farming is in my veins, right? My constituency, from a political standpoint, my constituency depends 80% on farming. I have the largest grain producing area. I have the largest cattle producing area. I have the largest pork producing, poultry, egg producing, sugar cane producing area in my constituency. So my people, my constituents live off agriculture. It is in my interest, it is in my people's interest that agriculture survives at all costs. And that they not only survive, but they can live well off agriculture. And so I have to keep monitoring. I have to keep a close eye what's happening in the agriculture sector, not only in Belize, but across the region.
That's from a constituency perspective, which I totally understand. Nonetheless, some would argue that there's an entire Minister of Agriculture, an entire ministry that you've left behind that is more than capable to look after these affairs. How do you respond to that?
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that they're capable. I left a very well-prepared staff, right? And there's no doubt in my mind about that. Nevertheless, I'm still there to advise and to point out some of the weaknesses. We do have weaknesses, or point out the opportunities that we have. We cannot fall asleep at the wheel, not at all, right? And we've done so in the past, both governments, when it comes to agriculture. Today, the country is doing fine for agriculture, for many of the subsectors. Some are falling behind, but the good thing is that we have not only one subsector, we have various subsectors. So if one fails, the other one picks up the slack. And that is the good thing about this government, that you don't put all your eggs in one basket. If one goes down, the next one sustains you.
It's interesting that you would say that, because we look at what's happening with the sugar industry up north, and in some case, for some farmers, the dire need to diversify from sugar to any other forms of agriculture. In this case, we're looking at the livestock industry. You're here to talk about expanding into the Mexican market. What does that look like in terms of diversification, one, and two, being able to establish the necessary connections with the Mexicans? I know if we talk about cattle, we talk about sucarne in the north, right? But that's just one connection. How does that look?
For you to understand marketing, you have to understand how cattle moves in the region, right? And what dictates the prices for cattle in the region. The U.S. has the lowest cattle herd in 80 years. The older farmers don't want to farm anymore. They're tired, they're expiring, and the young generation doesn't want to do it. They have severe droughts in southern USA. Mexico has a demand for beef, but they also have strong beef production. Central America, the largest producer of cattle is in Nicaragua, 7 million head. Mexico exports 1 million to 1.3 million young animals to the US. These are bordering states which produce more of the Angus animals, right? Because the US doesn't have interest in any zebu animals that we have in the southern, this part of the country.
Like your Brahma bulls and
exactly.
that type.
The US has no interest in those, right? The zebu animals. They have interest in the Angus, the cold climate animals that have marbling. That is grown in northern part of Mexico. You can see Durango, you can see Durango, you have some state Tamaulipas, you have Chihuahua. they produce small animals and sell them, 1.3 million. That 1.3 vacuum is then imported from Central America to Mexico to sustain the national population of Mexico, because they yes, will consume the zebu animals. When schoolworm came up, the Mexican government, well, let's go back a little. When we were elected to government, the only market was Guatemala. And the Guatemalans would then pay us 90 cents, 70 cents a pound. You recall when we won, the border was closed to exportation. We reopened that exportation.
That was one of the first orders of business when you guys took over in 2020.
Because we realized we had, at that time, we had 170,000 head of cattle. Today we have 212,000 head of cattle. We export 40,000 head, and we still have 40,000 head border. So the herd grew by 80,000.
Yeah.
Okay? When we reopened the border, we thought that, as former CEO Jose Pucha said once, we cannot build an industry off an informal market. We had to formalize that market with Mexico. And that's what we did at the ministry. We had bilaterals, the first bilateral with the ministers of agriculture of Mexico, and they supported us a lot. I think the relationship with Mexico and Belize at that time grew. It grew tremendously.
Yes.
We realized that Mexico is 125 million people. What better market do you want than that? Guatemala is what, 18 million people? What bigger market than that you want? Right? That's the opportunity. Yeah, whatever we have, we can't supply them.
Well, here's a question, and I think this is one that's front of mind for many people who are watching or who have been following. When we deal with the Mexicans, it's always a very thin line between formal, official business versus anything that would be underworld. I say that because Mexicans, and it's become the reality, find a way to infiltrate all forms of markets. If you look for avocado, they commandeer avocado for the purpose of cartel operations and what have you. So I look at this insatiable appetite for beef and cattle in Mexico as another industry that they would infiltrate if they haven't already, and we're doing business with them.
No, as far as I know, the main purchaser of cattle is Sucarne, which is, I think, the third in the world. I think the third in the world. Yeah, something like that. Third in the world. They have the third largest feedlots in the world. They operate in, the biggest plant is in Michoacan. Then they have one in Mexicali, I think, and then they have another somewhere. They also have one in Nicaragua. They're big people. And they slaughter 1,500 animals daily. That's a huge operation. They export to the US, to Canada, Japan, China. The blood, I think, they export to Korea. We visited that plant too. They are very well known, so we don't, I don't know what happens beyond that, and I don't want to know. At least I know about the best, but they are well known in the US for the quality, and Canada. We had problems, Isani, just when we got the first case of schoolworm. Belize was the last country to get schoolworms in Central America. Mexico had it first on us. But the Mexican farmers were rallying their government to say, stop the importation of cattle. And we were scared that would affect us. Julio Verdeguer, then minister, took over. We met with him and we said, we pleaded to him, please do not close down borders. We have good mechanisms in place. We have good traceability. We have good inspection units. Belize is a small country. We are doing very well with school. And he said, I promise you that I will not close on your cattle. It would be easier to close down cattle coming in from Guatemala to Mexico than to close down Belize, because Belize is formal to Mexico. Guatemala is very informal to Chiapas and Tabasco, that border. So we came back very reassured that that wouldn't happen. Everybody was scared that would happen. It did not happen. What happened lately in January, in December, is that the tariff which they had waived us, which we recall President
under the previous president, right?
Yeah, that tariff waiver expired in December, and we weren't aware. I wasn't aware really. That passed me, and we found out, and we said, oh, this is something we need to. So I spoke to the Prime Minister. We rallied with the people in Mexico, and they said, oh, we will work on it. So that's where we are now.
That is under the presidency of Claudia Sheinbaum.
Yeah,
now.
she gave her, just after the election, the Prime Minister met her, and she gave us a word that she would ensure that it be addressed. So they are doing it now.
Mr. Mai, how prepared are we as a country to meet the demand of cattle from Belize?
To the export market?
Yes.
We're just a drop in the bucket. But we've discussed this at length. Where do we want to go with the cattle industry? Do we want to be a country of primary product exporters, or you want to be a country with value added? Right? Look what Mexico did. When the U.S. closed down their borders, because when they got the first screwworm case in Catasaha, the Americans jumped and said, this is not good. And they put a barrier from Veracruz to Oaxaca, and they said, once there's a screwworm case above this level, we will close down cattle from Mexico going to U.S. Lo and behold, a case was found there.
Yeah.
They closed it down. The U.S. came in and did an assessment, look at their monitoring process, surveillance mechanisms, their spraying mechanisms. And they said, we're not happy, we're not satisfied, we'll keep it closed. They opened up for 2 days, I think, and they found another case in Tamaulipas. Then they closed it down permanently. That is still closed right now.
So I read, I'm glad that you're going there. I read an article just over the weekend where that, in essence, has backfired for the Americans, right? And so it has created sort of a boon for the Mexicans in terms of cattle and the beef industry, right? Let's talk about that and how
what happened is that the U.S., when that happened, the 1.2 million head that go into U.S., they got short, and the prices in America raised. The beef prices raised. The price for cattle in Belize went up. So instead of affecting us, it benefited us. And the
farmers in the United States are now basically in the same situation where they have to diversify from beef because the cattle not go ahead.
Yeah. So what the Mexicans did was, okay, I sell you wieners. So these small animals, 500 pounds, 600 pounds, we sell the Americans. The Americans put them in feedlots, take them to 1,200 pounds, and then take them to certain facilities. So they were short of 1.3 million head, the U.S., so the price went up. The Mexicans now have a surplus of 1.3 million head because they now have a 1.3 coming in from Central America. So what they did, they said, let's slaughter. So they manufactured quickly their starting facilities, and they started to sell cuts to the Americans. So instead of selling on the hoof, they're selling meat to the Americans. And so the Mexicans continue making money. The Americans now are saying, okay, now we are not, the fatteners are saying we're not making money at fatteners. The processors are now making the money, not the farmers. Because in this you have the farmers and you have the processors, right? And the meat packers, there are only 4 companies in America, the biggest ones. So these are the 4 that share the profits, and the farmers stayed in the shadows, right? So the farmers are saying we have been neglected. The government, the policy of the U.S. government has affected the farmers of this country
adversely. So
adversely, and they have some of the worst drought right now, and so they're being affected.
Let's pause for a second there, Minister. Take away all of that has happened stateside and in Mexico. Shouldn't that be one of the value addeds that we're looking for in Belize, so that instead of selling on the hoof, we're also selling cuts and be able to capitalize on that?
You're reading my mind. That's because you studied agriculture, right?
Why I wake up with an agricultural brain this morning. But thank you. Go ahead, sorry.
You're reading my mind. This teaches a very important lesson, right? We're not an island. We depend on other countries. Yeah. And I've always said, we are a country of raw product export. We need to add value. And the people, the farmers in Belize are no fools, you know. They study these things and they understand. So at this time, there are like 3 or 4 slaughtering facilities, packing plants going up in Orange Walk. We have the Canadian, we have one in Blue Creek, we have three plants in Orange Walk. And there's a modern one going up. And there are people that have expressed interest now for the same particular reason. It is easier, the conditions to export cuts or carcass is easier than to export live animals. Live animals carry diseases.
Yeah.
Cuts don't. Once you are certified, you have HACCP certification, which is the minimum, which Baja monitors. Then you have Mexicans. If you want to export to Mexico, they say, well, your plant has to be TIF certified. Tipo Inspección Federal. That's the minimum you need. And if you want to the U.S., it has to be USDA certified plant. No, we will want a U.S. certified plant, right? And we can begin with small animals. There was a consultant here some time ago from Uruguay, I think. And she was telling us, well, you need at least to slaughter 100 animals daily. Well, we can begin small, especially if we look at niche markets. And so people in Orange Walk have been doing some trials with specific breeds of animals and specific cuts. Everybody knows marbling, which we commonly know as fat.
Yeah.
Right? But marbling is white in color and distributed within the muscle of the meat, and that's what gives it the flavor everybody talks about.
Marbling, when they have places like Japan and they eat Kobe beef.
Exactly. Yeah. So what these farmers did was they brought in semen from these Wagyu type animals and they inseminated into Brangus animal. A Brangus is already a cross between a Brahman and Angus.
Yeah.
Right? So you inseminate, and the offspring, the F1, is placed into a feedlot. So they did 3 or 4 animals like that, and they slaughtered them to look at the marbling in it. I think they sold one entire carcass to Boeing and Boeing. I think they have a restaurant, and they were very satisfied with the marbling. I think steaks are graded by choice, and I don't know what else, but the outcome was very well, very good, and the people at the saw the meat and had a piece of it, and it's very good quality. Now, this is not cheap meat. The days of cheap meat are far gone. If you want good marbling meat, you'll have to pay for it. Now, you will know, I think you've been to Japan, what is the cost of Wagyu.
That's one of the most expensive pieces.
Yeah.
I had 1 or maybe 2 cubes of Wagyu beef on a platter. Thankfully, I wasn't paying for the meal. When we looked at the bill afterwards, that they up there.
Yeah, it's
but it's a proper piece of, you know.
But we will have, because the Wagyu is a cold climate animal too.
Yeah.
So it has to be crossed with animals that are hardy and can take our conditions in Belize, the ticks, the diseases, all the hot weather, humid, whatever comes with it, right? The anaplasma and so on. So that is something. We had somebody from one of the resorts who called me and said, listen, I want to look at doing business with you. Because the producers of Wagyu, the growers of Wagyu are from Texas, but they have business in Guadalajara and in Tizimin. I was in Tizimin. Gerardo is his name, and he said, listen, why don't you guys raise these animals for me and sell them back to me, right? Because I have market for that specific meat in Mexico and the U.S., but he's looking at the U.S. market. I said it would be very interesting, but we have to begin first with trying it out. We won't jump into the river and swim without knowing how deep the river is or how strong the currents are. So we did that experiment. I personally would would try some on my farm to see
Mr.
how it
Mai,
goes.
being intimately involved with these different stakeholders, persons in high posts or officials in industries, not only in Mexico, in the region and in the United States, it is my understanding that you recognize the opportunity that Belize has if there is proper investment. As we wind down this conversation, what would you tell farmers or persons tuning in right now that is considering cattle, whether livestock or cuts as we were discussing earlier?
Well, a farmer has to choose what he wants to do. And how does he do this? By two ways. One, he looks at a product that is market-led, one, and is profit-driven. Any farmer with zero education or with high education will take these two factors in place. Something that is market-driven and that has profit. Not money. Everything makes money, but not everything makes profit. Right? Sugar cane, for example. There's no profit in sugar cane. You make money, you pay everything out again, but there's no profit. So the farmers have to look at that. And it's natural in them. They will see where the money is. Right now, I have people, my neighbors are saying, I'm done with cane. I'm sorry, I cannot continue the way it is right now.
While I have you on cane, so my final question, we're out of time, but I need a response on this. Are you privy to the latest from the Court of Appeal in respect of the Tate and Lyle and the fair trade argument, if I could use that? What is your thoughts on it?
It's very unfortunate. It comes at a wrong point in time in the history of the industry. The industry today does not need this type of litigation, expensive litigation. It does not. The industry is faced with its worst crisis, I believe, in the history of the industry. We have, at this time, the high cost of fuel. We have very uncertain weather. Climate change is affecting seriously. We have poor soil health because we've burned sugarcane fields for 50 years, twice a year. So the soil health is the poorest. We have the worst diseases, pests and diseases in the country right now in sugarcane. The yields are like 11 tons per acre. The mill has serious deficiencies. They need a boiler, $10 million. Their cane fields are probably maybe the worst. The yields are horrible. Cane farmers, some cane farmers have very poor yields. So this litigation comes at a wrong time. All that resources, energy resources, could be placed where they are mostly needed right now. So I wish that this matter could be settled out of court. I wish.
But at this point, the showdown will go to the court where there will be the full-on challenge.
I suspect that they will appeal to the higher court, to the ICJ, sorry, to the CCJ, because these are ASR, Clayton, BSI, they're big people. And knowing the attorneys, both attorneys, BSI and Clayton, there's no small change of attorneys. And no one, none of them want to take a loss. These are very prominent law firms, and they don't want to take a loss, and they're representing a multinational. I say it's just unfortunate to have to go through this. I wish that it could be settled out of court, and something that will benefit everybody in the country. Nobody wins a war of this nature. Farmers start to leave the industry. The good things, and I'm still a politician, is that under the PUP, under the leadership of the Prime Minister, we have created the environment for diversification. You went to the College of Agriculture. Since I'm in high school, we've been hearing the term diversification. But into what? There was no opportunity created to diversify. We say, okay, you need to diversify, but what? What I as a government am offering you to diversify? What environment have I created so that you be able to diversify and survive with your family? None. It is this government that has created all those opportunities. Because I don't know if many of prime ministers before ever thought of agriculture or gave the importance that agriculture deserves. But the government today has done just that. So you can leave sugarcane and say, listen, I put fence around this thing, I put barbed wire, and I buy my 10 cows and put it in there. And those 10 cows will have 10 calves, and if I sell those 10 calves today, they will give me $25,000. Which sugarcane field will give you that? I'm telling you, 10 cows, 10 animals of 600 pounds right now that my cows give birth to. If I sell those at $2,200, I'm getting $22,000 right now. So they're born today, and I'm selling them 6 months after.
All right. Mr. Mai, we have exhausted our time. Unfortunately, we are completely out, but we appreciate the time that you've taken to speak with us. We know you traveled all the way from Orange Walk, and we know that it takes a lot of effort, especially in your time of healing. So we appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and, of course, our viewers by extension.
Thank you very much for the invitation. It's always a pleasure to discuss my forte, agriculture.
Yeah. All right. Well, we do have to take a quick break now, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we have a heart-to-heart conversation, and it's all about open heart surgery.
Haven't updated your information recently? Well, kick off the new year as a winner. RF&G Insurance is giving you a free chance to win every month. Entering is easy. Just chat with us on WhatsApp and update your information. That's it. You'll be automatically entered into our monthly raffle for a chance to win awesome prizes. Don't wait. Message us on WhatsApp and update your info today. RF&G Insurance. It pays to get it right.
Life moves fast. Your connection should keep up. Need more credit? More data? A flex bundle that fits your lifestyle? With Smart Prepaid, they're a prepaid option for every lifestyle and budget, making it easy to stay connected wherever you are. Because with Smart Prepaid, you can connect on your terms. Purchase credit, data, flex bundles, prepaid plans, and all your favorite prepaid services at any Smart agent, Smart showroom, or simply dial *100# key. No stress, no waiting. Just fast, easy, convenient ways to stay connected every day. Smart Prepaid. Connect on your terms.
We at Fulltech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Fulltech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy 8. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
Let's all be safe during the rainy season. Belize Electricity Limited reminds you that heavy rains can cause flooding in your neighborhood and on roads. Avoid driving or walking in flooded areas, which can have hidden dangers such as debris and fallen power lines. Belize Electricity Limited cares about your safety. Please stay safe.
Haven't updated your information recently? Well, kick off the new year as a winner. RF&G Insurance is giving you a free chance to win every month. Entering is easy. Just chat with us on WhatsApp and update your information. That's it. You'll be automatically entered into our monthly raffle for a chance to win awesome prizes. Don't wait. Message us on WhatsApp and update your info today. RF&G Insurance. It pays to get it right.
Belize wakes up connected to opportunity. And across our country, the work to keep Belize connected continues. SMART continues expanding our network across the country, bringing stronger coverage to more communities. With recent service enhancements in areas at Blue Creek and Progresso, Belize City, Orange Rock, and more on the way. We're bringing education closer to home, empowering entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, supporting industries that drive our economy, and keeping families connected wherever life takes them. With every expansion, we are investing in the infrastructure that moves Belize forward. Because connection isn't just about signal, it's about opportunity, progress, and the future we are building together. SMART, bringing people together.
They're not just cigarette, vape, hookah, cigar, and all kind of tobacco product, Lego, dangerous smoke, and toxic chemical. When you smoke or vape, that cloud they not disappear. It turn into second-hand smoke and third-hand smoke where people wrong your breathing. That kind of smoke that could cause cancer, diabetes, lungs disease, and heart problems. It could kill anybody who get exposed to it. If you smoke or vape, go outside, far from people. Everybody deserves to breathe clean air.
As a small business, I started to attend pop-up shops like many other businesses, and we found that our customers wanted to pay by card and not cash. I went to Atlantic Bank, and immediately, without a problem, it's like, yes, you can have a POS system. That POS system we now use in-house, and we can also take it countrywide wherever we are. They were willing to take the time, they were willing to be patient with us as we grew our business, and that, for us, that meant the world.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Welcome back. We are moving into our next conversation, and we're calling it a heart-to-heart conversation, really. A conversation on open heart surgery. We are joined by Dr. Adrian Koyi. He's a cardiothoracic surgeon representing the ministry, actually representing the Carl Kushner Memorial Hospital, where you're primary stationed. But I want to open, Doc, on a lighter note. I heard my producer speaking to me and asking if you fix broken hearts. And I imagine you might get kind of jokes like that often.
Yeah, well, that is true. I do my best.
You do your best. And there's really so much to celebrate in terms of having your presence at the KHMH, but really having someone of your expertise in the country as well. There are so many persons who have, passed through your care. And I think this is an opportunity for us to discuss some of the areas that Belize really provides that type of support for people. Perhaps we can begin with how long have you been providing this type of work as a heart surgeon?
Okay. Well, thank you again for the opportunity, and big up Carl Kushner and all my team. We're very happy to share our experiences. For the specialty, I've been in cardiothoracic surgery for 25 years at least. So I did my training initially in Jamaica, and I got certified, and well, I did formal training in the UK. So I have a double qualification for that. So it's a great joy to be home and to be able to help my people. It's a privilege, and so we take it very seriously what we do, and it's a sacred privilege for us to do the work that we do.
You began by acknowledging your team at the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital,
yes.
which is profound, given the fact that a lot of people still don't think or believe that KHMH has the capacity and perhaps the wherewithal to be able to carry out some of these very, very major operations or surgeries. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the KHMH and its ability to be able to deliver on these services.
Well, again, I've been at Carl Huchner 16 years now, and that drive to do, I mean, obviously the need was always there. Just to put things in context, cardiac disease remained the #1 cause of death in Belize, like forever, and globally. But it's not something that gets that type of attention, because obviously it depends, I guess, on the perspective of different organizations and patients' experiences. But for Carl Huchner, it has always been the only place where I believe, and I saw the opportunity to develop a program that is comprehensive and contemporary. So what we do have in a stealth mode, and what we've been building, is capacity, systems of safety. We have training of nurses, doctors, so much so that we have the ability to deliver not only diagnostic aspects of heart disease in that sense, and just to remember again, the heart disease that we are going to be addressing or working on is at the end of a spectrum of all the ills that we do to ourselves in terms of hypertension, diabetes, obesity, hyperlipidemia, all these risk factors, smoking, they all coalesce into the manifestations of heart disease.
Yes.
So we have the main umbrellas being ischemic heart disease, which is the popular one where we talk about bypass surgeries and such. But the double whammy is that we still have the lingering of what would be our poor socioeconomic circumstances that is associated with rheumatic heart disease. So we still have the burden of valvular heart disease, and we have ischemic heart disease as the two main pillars of work that we focus on. So early detection is important, and so again, when patients end up in our system, we're able to see highly trained cardiologists, Dr. Lin in this setting, who is able to diagnose by echocardiogram, by obviously history and all of those other things, but echo, which we also offer, is transesophageal echo, which is a much more advanced type of thing. And then of course we go into the cardiac cath lab, which is a very advanced platform for detecting coronary artery disease and measuring pressures for valvular heart disease. It also has been the platform for pediatric heart interventions as well. So in that aspect, we're quite proud of the achievement where in the last 2 years, we've done about 200 cardiac angiograms.
Wow.
And on total about 800 for the program, and we have done maybe 110 open heart surgeries, 200 pacemaker implantations, and tons of diagnostic echocardiograms and other things. But we also have an excellent intensivist in the manner of Dr. Pedro Arriaga, who is our lead. And we have in the ICU, we've had 4 nurses who have done advanced critical care training. So again, what we're saying, that is certified by the American Society for Critical Care Nursing. And it is just to say then that we've been building in each domain the capacity. So we've gone from being mentored and being helped by a partnership that we have with an amazing organization called the Heinemann Robichek Foundation, and they continue this journey with us. So they're Belize's greatest friends and probably best kept secret. In the end, what they've allowed us to do is to live the dream and to manifest in the sense that they've helped us to acquire the equipment, the training, and also the funding for teams to come to continue to mentor. So we're moving from dependence to sustainability. And that's a very, very careful and slow process. So even though we don't go out and promote it as such, the main thing is that patients find us.
Yeah.
Patients come from Guatemala, from Mexico's side as well. They find us. We do amazing work, and we have quite a bit to be proud about as a country.
It's encouraging to know that where there might have been the idea and talks of persons having to travel outside of their country to get certain services, especially having to do with heart disease. These are operations, as Isani mentioned, that can be done right here at home locally with trusted persons, with trained persons, of course, persons like yourself with a level of expertise. But you spoke earlier about some contributing factors that might lead to certain types of heart disease. And I'd like to quickly look at that for people tuning in right now that might have had the idea that heart attacks are for old people, right?
No.
That is a narrative that has completely changed in this day and age, where certain lifestyle practices could lead to heart disease. We see babies being born with certain heart diseases as well. But looking at lifestyle really quickly, Doc.
Just very quickly, like there are many great sayings. One of them, you are what you eat, I suppose. That's one of them. Or an ounce of prevention is probably worth more than a pound of cure. And in many ways, we have so many choices nowadays, right? What we eat, when we sleep, when we do otherwise. And I think we have to develop a preventative approach to our care. I mean, our well-being. In the same way, if you buy a car and you spend a lot of money and say, you know what, every 6 months I'm going to do this. I'm going to check in my oil, this and that. And that's a lot of investment for that because you spent money, but here you are, that if the car is destroyed, you get the insurance to pay you back. But if you destroy your body in that sense, or if you don't pay attention, you may end up, in a very difficult situation. So we have patients that need a heart transplant or lung transplant, and that is a very sad thing to see at a very young age. We have a lot of burnt out hypertensive patients who are young and with advanced heart failure, and the only options for them is not even surgery in the purest sense, but cardiac devices that cost $30,000 US or such to implant. And so, the only thing I can do is encourage and promote the fact that we have a strong primary health care program, that people should take advantage of the programs that are there, inclusive of the NHI, as a way to know your numbers, to have a better insight into what your health journey is about, especially if you have a family history of heart disease or diabetes or hypertension. Then those are things from very early you should say, hey, you know what, let me check in from an earliest point of view. Because early detection, as in for cancer, for anything else, leads to better outcome, leads to better quality of life and longevity. So
when you discover something, when you're almost at the terminal stage, there's nothing you can do at that point, as opposed to learning of it from the onset.
Yeah, there's a lot of desperation that happens, and then you end up with very unfortunate things. But hand in hand with heart disease is kidney disease. So we have an epidemic of kidney failure, and they're all the same drivers are involved. So again, it's very important that we kind of start to think, and I think from the primary school level that there's a lot of good education that happens about diet and obesity and stuff like that. I mean, when we moved from England here, my kids would say, "Dad, that's diabetes, don't eat that," you know, and it's like, okay, where did they get that from, right? But that was from school, so I was happy about the fact that they, from an early age in Belmopan, in primary school, they were being sensitized to that, you know, that there are choices you make.
There are also cases, though, of babies being born with heart disease. Are you seeing an increase in that, at least in Belize?
No, it's hard to say that. I mean, the thing is, we have more tools to pick up on the condition. So all around the world, it's almost the same. It would be 1% of newborns may have some form of congenital heart disease. It's not necessarily impacted much by the lifestyle choices, except for diabetic mothers who may have babies born with complete heart block or something like that. But it's not, I don't think it's much different than a global aspect. We are no different than anywhere in the world. Let's just put it that way. You know, we want to think that we are different in some, no, we have the same conditions, the same challenges.
As we wind down the conversation, Doc, for persons tuning in who might want to make that visit to check on their health, if they have a history of heart disease in their family, what are the steps that you would advise for them to take?
Well, again, the system can't be hospital driven, right? It has to be that you use it from the primary level, right? You have to have a good relationship, as in have a family physician or your clinic nearby, that they are following you, they can see trends, and then give you the advice, and then, if necessary, the referral. The referral that, I mean, we have consultant-led clinics at Carl Huchner, so a referral that would be saying, okay, you need to see the internist or you need to see a cardiologist as the first step. Very rarely they come and see me as the first intervention, but sometimes the patients have the perception that I'm a cardiologist, which I am not, but it is that the system should work that way. And it should be from private, public, it doesn't matter. We don't turn away patients. The only problem we will have is the ability to see them in a timely manner. That is the challenge. And so from a capacity building perspective, there's a lot of services in Carl Huchner that were still led by one person, and so we do have to continue the journey of consolidation of services that allow better access, because at the end we want young Belizeans to come back, see the opportunity, and to invest in Belize in this way, and they will be rewarded.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Dr. Koyi. We appreciate the time that you've taken, and we wish you guys all the best.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
All right. We take another quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we have another wonderful conversation to jump into. Women's Haven Products expands its reach to Belize.
Insurance fact. Did you know Home Protector Insurance provides liability insurance that is for licensing? Public liability insurance for the hotels and guest houses protects the guests staying at the resort. Tour operators insurance for on-site tourists, and marine passenger liability for passengers. You take care of your guests, we'll take care of you. Visit any Home Protector Insurance office near you to learn more.
Get ready, Dangriga. Something big is coming your way. Open your eyes. Summerfest 2026 is heading to the culture capital, Dangriga. Join us on June 12th at 6:30 a.m. at the iconic Alejo Beni Park for a morning filled with energy, excitement, and pure talent. This year, it's all about the kids.
From singing to dancing, poetry to performances, if they've got talent, we've got the stage. Bring out the entire family and come celebrate creativity, culture, and the future stars of Belize. Expect fun, music, surprises, and unforgettable moments. Don't miss it. Open Your Eyes Summerfest 2026, where young talent shines the brightest.
Introducing BB Insurance, built for Belize. Your security, our priority.
When your baby feels comfortable, you feel confident. Because every little moment deserves protection you can trust. Kushkin's diapers are designed with ultra-absorbent layers that lock in leaks while staying soft, dry, and gentle on delicate skin. So your baby can play freely, and you can enjoy every smile without worry. Kushkin's diapers, comfort they feel, protection you trust. Kushkin's diapers and wipes are available countrywide at a supermarket near you.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
Welcome back. We are continuing things along, and we have our final conversation that we are jumping into. Women's Haven expands its reach to Belize. I am joined by Corrine Craig. She's the CEO of Women's Haven Products in Belize, and it is a pleasure having you here with us.
Thank you for having me. It is a pleasure to be here.
Yes, and I see you brought some goodies on display as well. I'm looking forward to this conversation, Corrine. I was just kind of getting a brief overview of what you guys offer, and we'll get into some of the products in just a moment. So ladies, you might want to tune in, but this isn't just a conversation for ladies. We have something for the men as well. Let's jump straight into it. Women's Haven products. What is it?
A Women's Haven product is a 100 organic feminine hygiene products. We, along with the founders, have found it difficult to find organic, natural items for us to use during our monthly cycles. We find that a lot of the products available are heavily scented, heavily perfumed. These perfumes and chemicals alter our pH balance, they alter our hormones. Once our hormones get disrupted, they create a host of other side effects. And in founding Women's Haven, that was one of the goals, to try and provide something that's natural and organic that would not disturb the natural feminine and the male body, because we also have something for the men as well.
Yes, as you mentioned.
So that is one of our main goals, to provide something natural, but also to take away some of the stigma about menstrual health, about the period cycles. A lot of it is still taboo in our communities, in Belize, across the Caribbean, and we wanted to make it a broachable topic where we can spread information, spread the correct information, because there's a lot of misinformation online, and we wanted to be a conduit that we could provide that information to the young women and men in the Caribbean and across the world.
Looking at the Caribbean, you spoke about some of the taboo conversations that people would be fearful of having surrounding the menstrual cycle. As a woman, what are some of those things that you would have heard growing up?
Some of the things, I believe that it's normal to have pain. It's normal to suck it up, you know? Some of those conversations need to be approached. It's not normal to be constantly living in pain.
Yeah.
It's not normal to have infections after your menstrual cycle. It's not normal to be having all these discomforts that we're having, and we're only now finding out about it because we're being more open about it, and we realize, you know what? A lot of us are having the same symptoms and we're not talking about it enough. We're not aware also of what can be done about it. You know?
I think it's such an excellent point, and I mean, I know that there are studies still being done on some of the very products that we have to rely on a monthly basis as women.
Yes.
Sanitary products, that add to some of the discomfort that we would feel not only during our cycle but after. You spoke of infections, for example, and the fact that as women we are taught to avoid scented products, whether in your sanitary pads, but even in cleansing as well. Talk about that and how you guys have been able to provide solutions for that through Women's Haven products.
So at Women's Haven, we have strived to provide all organic and natural products. So we don't use chemicals or scents in any of our products. For me, I discovered Women's Haven in 2018, and when I was coming back home to Belize, the first thing I thought was, I cannot go back to having discomfort. I cannot go back to infections. And
so you had access to other products that were not.
Coming back home, I was like, I want this in Belize.
Okay.
I need to have this in Belize. How am I gonna sort that out? Am I going to ask my friends to send me a shipment every month? And then I realized, but you know what? I'm not the only person that's probably having these issues. And the only next logical solution would have been to bring the products to Belize and introduce it to our young women and our females in our society.
So let's talk about some of the products that you brought here with us. We have, can we quickly look at them? We have pads, of course. These seem like they have different sizes. We have, are those liners as well?
So we have liners as well. So we have the regular liners. We have thong liners for the ladies that like the fancy underwear. We have the extra long liners. So sometimes we find that the liners and the market might be a little bit too short, and you want to feel that extra protection when you're moving around doing your daily activities. So we have the extra long liners. And then also we have the sanitary pads, which come in various absorbencies. So that depends on your flow and your cycle. For some women, we experience a heavy flow for the first few days, so we would want to use a heavy or a extra heavy, and then towards the end of the cycle it gets less, so we might want to use a regular napkin for those days. So we have different absorbencies and different size liners as well.
Now the packaging, and also by what you mentioned, is that these products are 100% organic.
Yes.
What does it mean to be organic in this case?
It means that we do not have plastics in the lining. We do not have chemicals in the lining. It would be all natural cotton and herbs if we put anything on it. So these ones don't have anything on it. These are absolutely scent-free, no chemicals, no additives onto any of them.
I want to get into the herbs factor that you mentioned. What are some of those herbs, if you would know, that are used, and how does that benefit us as women?
So looking at this, looking, and the wash tells you the herbs that are in it. So Cortex philodendron is actually an herb, a Chinese herbal medicine that is used. All of these chemicals, all of these, we don't use chemicals, we use natural herbs, and all of these have anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and they also have antibacterial properties. So all of these, if you look up the ingredients on the internet, you're going to find that they're all natural herbs, and so there's no chemicals added to them.
So in the case of the Yoni Care Herbal Wash, what do I use that for? Because growing up, you hear people say, you know, as a female, you're not supposed to use the douche. You're also not supposed to use any type of soaps, really. Some people, though, they have their own home remedies or things that they would use. Some people say they wash with lime, all sorts of stuff. But of course, there are medical persons that might say, you know, you avoid these types of home practices. What do you use the Unicare wash for, though?
So the Unicare is strictly a cleanser or a wash that you use externally. So it's never to be used internally. And it, like I said, it provides anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial and antibacterial as well. We, for myself, I exercise a lot, I run a lot, you know, and sometimes I feel, even washing my hands and stuff like that, I feel like the soap doesn't actually get rid of all the bacteria or all the sweat and stuff like that. So for this is for personal hygiene, for your private parts, to wash and cleanse.
All right. Well, I want to look at the oil next, and forgive me, I went opening the box or the packaging. This is a Yoni essential oil, and look at this, guys. I'm impressed with the packaging already. I can see it has a bit of a flower inside too. What is the essential oil, and where do we use it?
So the essential oil is for
the yoni,
the external parts, you know, to moisten, to add herbs as well. The herbs in there, we have, I believe, clove, we have...
Let me give you the box over here, and then I'll give you guys a look at the bottle.
We have rose essential oil, we have lavender, we have mugwort leaf, magnolia, we have clove, angelica oil, and all of these have anti-inflammatory, they have antimicrobial and antibacterial properties. So these are actually, some of these oils and herbs that we use are actually used for healthy living, for organic living, you know. We use it for cooking, we use them also in different concentrations for different applications throughout our lives. And we thought, if we can use clove when we season up our ham to give it flavor and stuff like that, or we use it for in dentistry, you know, before we had all these injections and stuff to take away the pain, they would give you a clove to chew to help with the inflammation that you had. So all of these have medicinal properties.
Yes.
Right.
So this, I'm seeing here that it nourishes, rejuvenates, and soothes. It also provides moisturization and strength.
Yes.
Let's talk price, because oftentimes when we think of these imported products that we would know and recognize their brands, they come at a price that's, for the most part, affordable. And when we think of organic, we also think of that being more on the expensive side. But what are we looking at price points for these?
If I remember correctly, I believe that right now all of the pads and the liners are priced at $16 Belize.
Okay.
We do realize that it is a bit more expensive than the other conventional products available to us, but we stand behind the product 100%, knowing that it is well worth it.
Yes.
Yes.
And the oil
I
and cleanser?
believe that the wash is at $35, and I believe the oil might be at $35 as well.
All right.
And that's on our website.
Now, we can't forget the men. We did have something for the men here. This is an herbal wash for men.
Yes.
It eliminates odors, prevents itching, and provides a fresh, clean feel. Now, let me open this really quickly. Tell me about this product.
That one also is designed with the lovely men in our lives in mind. You know, we want to feel fresh, we want to be fresh, and we also want them to feel cared for as well, and to have that freshness as well. It has some of the same herbs that we use for the feminine wash, and these have anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial and antibacterial properties as well.
And this one is used for the private area as well?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, you spoke of a website where we can get these products. What is the website, and also what is the price for this one?
That one is $35 as well.
$35. Okay.
Yes.
So you mentioned a website. Is it only available online currently?
It's available online or through emailing me or sending me a WhatsApp.
Okay.
We are currently exploring options to distribute at your local supermarket
And
hopefully
stores
in the
near
near
you?
future.
All
Yes.
right. So what is the website?
The website is womenshaven.com, and you can select Belize because there's a drop down on there. So select Belize, and the products that we currently have available in country will come up.
And you also mentioned that we can email you as well to get in touch.
Yes, you can. And that is Kareen, C-A-R-E-E-N -Belize, B-E-L-I-Z-E, at womenshaven.com.
All right. Well, as we wind things down, Kareen, what would you say as a final point to encourage people to purchase these products? Why purchase these products, whether it's the oil, the wash, or the sanitary napkins versus something else that might be cheaper and more available?
Well, I would like to say that personally, for myself, having gone organic, I cannot see myself going back to anything else that would provide me discomfort.
Yeah.
It has been well worth it, and I wholeheartedly stand behind the products. We encourage a healthy lifestyle, organic eating, fresh fruits and vegetables, herbs as much as possible, and anything you put in, anything you put on your skin is absorbed into you. So we would want to have healthy products that will support a healthy lifestyle for us.
Excellent. It has been a pleasure speaking with you, Ms. Craig. I'm definitely impressed, and I'm hoping that people tuning in right now who would like to make that switch or even just test it for themselves to go on the website, check out the Belize option online, or email Ms. Craig as well. Well, we do have to wrap things up at this time, and it has been a wonderful morning. We want to say thank you to all of our guests who joined us, as well as you guys for locking in, engaging with us, and starting your morning right. It is June 9th, 10th, and if you are celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. If you'd like to give a birthday shout out, or if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can send us an email at oie@greaterbelize.com. You can also catch us on our social media pages. We have a Facebook, that's Open Your Eyes BZ, Instagram for behind the scenes contents, that's OIE Belize. We even have a TikTok where we go live sometimes and we give you guys a behind the scenes of a behind the scenes, and that's openyouryes.bz. And then you can even call us or text us on our OIE phone number. That's 675-2555. But please do us a favor and join us again tomorrow on Thursday when you open your eyes and start your morning right. Until then, be sure to keep your eyes, your mind, and your hearts wide open. Have a wonderful Wednesday, Belize. We'll catch you tomorrow. Bye.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.